New breaking information right now on that overnight search for a teenager who police consider to be armed and dangerous.
Officers have found the suspect's vehicle but are still looking for him. We want to head right away to the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod, who's live on scene with this new information. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. What I can tell you, just a few minutes ago, there was 4 Fargo PD vehicles out here and they were searching around. Now there's just 2 remaining right behind me. This is at the Stepping Stones Resource Center. Now this did happen around 9:30 last night, but like you guys just mentioned, the suspect is still missing and they're still out there looking for him. But what we can tell you is that his vehicle was seized and it was found. Now as they were going into his vehicle, they did locate a handgun. The suspect is known to the staff here and he's 18-year-old Austin Riddell, but we do not have a picture of him yet from Fargo police. But what we do have is a description. So Riddell is described as a white male, 6'2", 200 pounds, brown hair, and hazel eyes. And he's last seen in a white t-shirt and jeans. Now, if you know where he is, Fargo police ask for you to call them. And even though there's not a handgun located, we don't know any other information about where he is right now or if he has another weapon on him. So we want to mention, if you do happen to know where he is, do not approach him because, again, you just don't know what's going on. But if you do see him, make sure you call Fargo police immediately. We'll continue updating you as we continue to dig and get more of that information.
Brian Sherrod reporting live on this breaking news that's evolving throughout the morning. Thank you.
Also breaking this morning, police are now investigating reports of shots fired on Fargo's north side as a suicide.
Police and ambulances responded to that home around 2 o'clock this morning. Drivers in many parts of the valley, they're running into slippery conditions that have them slowing down as wet roads turned icy overnight.
The Richland County Sheriff's Office says an SUV slid off Highway 13 near Wahpeton last night into a ditch and rolled onto its top. 3 people in the car were checked out. 1 had minor injuries.
We now want to get a check of that forecast on this first alert weather day to see what people can expect as they head outside this morning. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, as you just mentioned, the biggest concern at the moment is the icy conditions, the fresh snow on top of that in some instances. And we've got a little blowing snow out there this morning too, some drifting onto the roadways. So for that morning commute, we definitely want you to use some caution here today. Here's a look at conditions around the valley. Thief River Falls, we got a little snow showing up on our camera there from the DOT. And same thing in East Grand Forks, a little light snow over toward Highway 10 and Lake Park as well. So we're still dealing with some light snow in the region. And in Fargo-Moorhead, it's more icy to slushy out there. I definitely want to make sure you're taking it easy, even in the metro areas, especially those intersections, bridges, on and off ramps, those typical areas that really tend to have some trouble here. Still getting some snow in Fargo. You can make it out a little bit on our view there on our Luther Family Ford cam, and we're getting reports of snow in Grand Forks and in Fergus Falls too. And check out these temperatures. You know, we've been very mild lately, and these numbers are lower than a lot lower in some instances than where we've been. And this is just the start. It's 11 degrees in Fargo, 13 in Grand Forks, and in Devil's Lake, a whopping 1 degree to start off your day today. Here's a look at the snow. You can see right in the heart of the valley we're seeing it. The main area of accumulating snow is east of us, Minneapolis, Duluth getting hit by that. But as we look at the radar, you can see that snow is working its way south and east. So it will continue to drop through parts of eastern Cass County and continue working into Clay County and eventually into other parts of Minnesota there as we continue through the morning. The wind will also create lower visibility with that. We're looking at a gust to 32 miles per hour in Fargo. Wind out of the northwest pushing in that colder air. 35 in Grand Forks, your wind speed. And here's a look at those wind chills. Again, we're looking at places already dropping to the 20s below for wind chills. So it begins. It won't be as bad today as the days ahead, though. Here's a look at our bus stop planner. Expect to, again, have a few flakes out there this morning. Temperatures don't change much from the wait at the bus stop this morning to this afternoon. We keep those stronger winds around, steady in the 20s out of the northwest, some gusts into the 30s. Sunrise at least getting earlier. We're getting about 3 minutes of daylight a day. So as our temperatures drop, keep that in mind. And we've got, of course, that wind chill watch that's been issued this morning. And so we're going to keep an eye out for, of course, that colder air descending into the valley. It is starting today, but it's going to take its time. We're going to work our way down into some really frigid numbers. You can see that we're talking wind chills by Saturday and through the weekend. I mean, this is in effect until next Tuesday, starting on Friday night, that we'll see wind chills down to 40 or 50 below. So this is going to be not only frigid, but it's going to last some time.
Bundle up and be safe out there. A lot to watch out for. Lisa, thank you.
There's another silver alert out in North Dakota, the second one this week. Police are asking for help locating 70-year-old Theodore Heath. He was last seen yesterday afternoon at an assisted living facility in Bismarck. He's believed to be on foot and not dressed for the weather.
He was wearing a face mask with a husky dog on it, a Vietnam veteran baseball cap, and a red or blue jacket. He's about 6'1", 212 pounds, hazel eyes, gray hair, picture on your screen. If you have any information on where he might be, contact your local law enforcement. The search for an elderly man missing from Devil's Lake is now over. 76-year-old Thomas Townsend and his vehicle were found yesterday morning near Starkweather, North Dakota.
The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office is investigating, but officials say there doesn't appear to be anything suspicious. A warning from Fargo-Moorhead Police. Catalytic converters are a big target for local thieves right now. They're stealing them from vehicles and then selling the metal. All vehicles have a catalytic converter. They're required by law to filter harmful fumes. They can be up front, close to your engine, but most are underneath a vehicle.
Police figure the increase in thefts is probably because of the high price of scrap metal right now. You can get several $100s for just one converter. And right here is where Fargo PD say the thefts are happening. The majority are in North Fargo business parking lots, where the thieves can target multiple vehicles all at once. Since August, police have taken nearly 100 reports of thefts in Fargo. 30 of those have just been in the last month.
What I have noticed is they are getting a little bit more crafty with it. In the past, I've seen a lot of chops coming out of them. They just kind of hack them off. This last one, they actually unbolted the part from the vehicle and then only did minimal cutting. So they are getting a little bit more crafty in how they do it.
There are a few things you can do to protect yourself. Park in a garage if you have one. If not, park in a well-lit area or as close as possible to the door. Experts say having cameras is a good deterrent for these thieves as well. Police say you should call them right away if you see anything suspicious or you hear power tools in a parking lot at night.
The North Dakota House is considering a bipartisan legislation that gives survivors of child sex abuse more time to sue their alleged perpetrators for crimes that could date back decades. The bill would provide a 2-year window to suspend the statute of limitations to file claims against alleged abusers or institutions that protected them.
Several adult victims of child sexual abuse appealed to lawmakers in emotional testimony yesterday to back legislation, which says victims could file claims for 2 years after the bill's enactment date of August 1st, regardless of how long ago the incident is alleged to have happened.
A shortage of home health care nurses in North Dakota has left one family in limbo because having an at-home provider is the only way they can bring their 7-month-old son home. Anika Hartman was born at just 22 weeks old and has overcome many complications.
But despite his triumphs, he's never spent a day outside hospital walls.
That's the hardest part, yeah. It's just like, yeah, you're missing out on all like this time.
We don't really feel like the parents at this point. We just feel like visitors.
The Hartmans recently made the move to Fargo from Litchfield, North Dakota, for better odds at securing a home nurse. They say while they're on the top of the wait list, it's still unknown how much longer it will be.
Sanford Health says the nursing shortage is not unique to North Dakota. Families who have children with complex medical needs are significantly more impacted because care requires more traveling, around-the-clock shifts in someone's home, and the need for backup staff. The FM area has seen a significant increase in the opioid epidemic in the past year, and there is help for the people who need it.
There's a free walk-in chemical dependency evaluation plan for tomorrow. It's from 8 to 2 at Beth's Place Recovery, located at 1606 30th Avenue South in Moorhead. Minnesota's state-run health insurance exchange will open a 3-month special enrollment period to help uninsured and other Minnesotans obtain coverage. MNsure says the open enrollment will begin February 16th and run through May 17th.
The announcement follows a nationwide special enrollment period ordered by President Joe Biden last week for states that participate in the federal exchange. MNsure ran a similar special enrollment period for uninsured Minnesotans last March, just after the start of the pandemic. They then enrolled nearly 10,000 Minnesotans into private coverage. North Dakota could be expanding paid leave for employees. A bill would give them up to 66% of an employee's income for up to 12 weeks with no cost to the taxpayer or the business.
Other states are making it a requirement, but in North Dakota, buying in would be optional. Opting in for an employee would mean paying 6 cents for every $10 of income. Employers who participate would receive tax credits.
This program that we've designed takes away any mandate. It is completely optional for both the employer and the employee to participate in it. So it's just another tool for the business and another tool for the employee if they should have this need.
Those against the bill say if it passes, they'd question offering PTO since the program would cover much of that obligation.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. 60% of adults say technology has made them worse at remembering this.
The answer is birthdays. Well, that's because Facebook tells us every time it's someone's
Facebook's really
birthday.
good at that. Why do we have to bother?
Well, it's okay because other people you might not know when their birthday are. Now you can wish them a happy birthday. I think it's a benefit for us.
Most people guess that answer. I think we can all relate to that. Remember, the Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More live up-to-the-minute news and weather, including that breaking news, a manhunt underway in Fargo. Join us for the very latest right now on the Fargo CW.